Thank you. By way of introduction, I'm Pamela with CareerEco, and I'm joined by my colleagues Emma and Christina. And we're looking forward to giving you a little window into the platform you're going to be using for your event coming up from your student perspective. Christina is going to be sharing her screen with us this afternoon so you can actually see what it's going to look like for you. We are using a sample demonstration event so that we don't show any real candidate information, but your screens will mirror what we're doing here. So first of all, by the time you get to this point on the CareerEco platform, this is called your dashboard, and you will have already signed in on CareerEco.com with your email and password. If you've already registered for your event, then you're familiar with that. And when you come into your dashboard, your event is showing up for you. So that is how you get to this point right here on the dashboard. There's a couple of important things that I want to show you. You'll get some messages from CareerEco, depending on how much you might have updated your profile. For example, you might have to upload your resume, and right there it says update registration. So obviously Hope candidate has some registration things that she needs to take care of. We're not going to go into that right now, but you'll see some messages. Another one that you might get is your resume, upload your resume, because for career fairs, the employers are looking to see your resume. So it's really important. But for all events, you really want to update your profile. So next to your name towards the top of the screen is the edit profile button. If you click that, then you have several options for different areas within your profile to update. You'll see along the top edge of the screen, the first one is personal details. And what I want to point out here is some contact information that you might want to put in. You know, address and all that is not required. Certainly you can put that if you want. But further down towards the bottom of the screen, you know, you may want to update, of course, your social media links if you have LinkedIn or other social media links that you want employers to know about. So we know that you might have some that you don't want them to know about, but LinkedIn is usually a good one that you might want to put there. And then down at the bottom, you can see there's a checkbox there that you can choose that you do or do not want to share. And I think we want to uncheck that box for purposes of our demo, because we do want to be able to have all of the details. But if your situation changed and you didn't want your profile information shared with the participants of the event, you have control over that from a privacy perspective. And then be sure to save any changes that you make. Then across the top edge, if you can scroll up to the top bar again, the next item is education. And this is where you can add to what you might already have entered for your university. If you've got another degree from somewhere else, if you have some kind of certificate or something that would be important to employers that are interested in hiring you, this is the place to do that. So you can also modify your current school info by clicking on the pencil to the right of that. If you need to make a change, or you picked maybe the wrong major, there was a more specific thing you could put, or you wanted to put free text, whatever that might be, you can modify that there. And then back to that, again, be sure to save any changes that you make to that. And the next column shows you where you can upload your resume or your CV. You can just upload it here. We have an area, you just click on that and it asks you to select the document right off your computer. You can include other things, some kind of cover letter or a reference letter from a professor or something that'd be important. You can even upload your transcript here. And this is all available to the employers that are looking at you. And it's important, particularly for career fairs, that you upload your resume. The next thing to the right is portfolio, which may not apply to all of you, but if you're in a field, architecture, art, some kind of field that, or in some engineering fields where you've got some kind of portfolio, you want to show samples of your work, this is the place to do that. You have up to 50 meg to do that. And just up above the gray portfolio samples bar, you see you can also put in a URL if you've got your portfolio on the web somewhere, so that you can have a link to that. And then lastly, you have email preferences as a part of your profile, which has the opportunity for you to say how you want to be communicated with about future events, about this current event, and all things going on with the CareerEco platform. Okay, I'm going to take a pause right here with the profile and see if any of you have some questions that I might be able to answer, or Emma or Christina. We'd love to help you out. Any questions we have out there?
We have one question so far. It's from Gail. Can we add more than one resume or cover letter if you're tailoring to different positions? And you do have the option to upload more than one.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's a specific one that should be your default, you can mark that next to the default there, and you could click that circle button and it would be highlighted blue as your default resume.
Yeah, and I would also recommend that if you did have specialized resumes that you wanted different employers to look at that highlight different experience, that you maybe titled them as well, so that they could easily distinguish. But I love that default button. Any other questions?
That's it so far.
Okay, great, thanks. Well, we're going to go back to your dashboard then. So once you've updated your profile, the organizations that are registering for the event can see all your profile information as soon as you put it out there and as soon as the companies are registered. So they're actively searching through candidates to look for areas of discipline that they're interested in and that would be good matches for their jobs. And they may choose to send you a message if you are a good candidate for them. And you'll see that in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Now, you will have the opportunity to go in there, and that number represents the number of unread messages that you have. We send messages in bulk from employers twice a day at 11 in the morning and 11 at night before the event, so you can come in and check those. Any unread messages appear in bold, and depending on the employer's discretion, they may give you the opportunity to respond to that. So you just click on the title to read it. We're not going to go through all that. I'm sure that's pretty straightforward for each of you, but you can click on the title to read it, and then if the employer has given you the ability to respond, you can do that. And they may say such things as, well, down here, sample organization, which is the one we're working in today. Hope had already looked at that. The very last one says, we're looking forward to your participation in the virtual fair, for example. So she could open that up and see that message, and then she does have the opportunity to reply because the company said, yes, we would like to hear back from you. So that's just a little bit about the messaging capability, which is really a great thing. So we can close that out, Christina, and go back to the dashboard for us, and we see our event list. And here we're going to take a look at, when you go into the event details tab, it allows you for the particular event to take a look at the organizations that are in that event, look at their profiles, express interest in them, and all that kind of thing. So when you click on event details over on the right-hand side, then it's going to bring you to kind of the landing page for the event. The schedule, if you click on that, that just shows you the organization hours that they've got their chat room set up. And so you can kind of plan out your day for the event, and maybe if somebody's not going to be there the entire length of the event, maybe they'll be there at the beginning but not at the end, or they have a break in the middle. You can plan your schedule accordingly if there's a certain company that you definitely want to see. If you go back to that landing page, we're going to click on the event details from the landing page in the middle there, and this is where you can take a look at all the organizations. Now we're in a sample fair, but when you try this on your actual event, you'll see there are a lot of companies that are signed up for your event. And this gives you an opportunity to use the filters that are at the top of the screen there. That is the information that those employers entered as they registered for this event. So your questions were specific to you guys, and for example, if I just wanted to look at certain majors there, certain degree levels, then I could click on maybe I'm getting a bachelor's, so I want to know what company is hiring bachelor's degrees, and maybe I'm an English major or computer, whatever your major is, computer science, and so I want to see what companies. And you see my search narrows down as I select filters to show me the companies that meet that filter. What kind of positions are they hiring for, etc. This is a really great way for you to narrow down the companies that might be the best match for you, so that you can go ahead there and maybe click on the profile name, the organization's name. You can click on that name and take a look at what they've uploaded for you to see before the event, and also gain some information before you enter a chat with them, to just do your research a little bit, know a little bit about the company, and get some good questions together. I see here there's a check mark, a blue check mark, and towards the bottom of the screen there. Hope Candidate has already evaluated this CareerEco company and decided she's really interested in what they have to offer. So she clicks that check box. And what happens is that company is notified that you have expressed interest in them. And that is one of the reasons why they might be reaching out and messaging you, because they're going to take a closer look if you've expressed interest. Are there any questions about this? We're going to go back out to the dashboard, but please type in your questions. We're here to, oh yeah, you can also see all the questions that they answer down the left-hand side, as well as contact information. Thank you, Christina, showing all the answers that that particular company had. And this helps you do the research ahead of time. You know, who are they hiring? And you can take another look at their chat hours. So it's, we have information about the organizations in multiple places for you to be able to access. And so hopefully you'll be able to find that. I'd like to go back to the dashboard, because one other thing that the companies might be able to do is to upload jobs. I'm sorry, not the dashboard, just pick the job, the job board. She picked that top job board, which shows all the jobs that are listed, not just for her event. So she's seeing everything that, not just for the one event, there's other events that she's wanting to look at, but she can choose just to see jobs that are posted for the events that she is registered for as well. This is important if you want to take a look. You know, some of the companies upload their jobs to our platform, others might send you to their website, but either way, it's a great way for you to do some research on what they have available and help you to formulate quality questions that you want to ask about the jobs they have available once you get into the chat room. Again, to get yourself well prepared. Speaking of which, back out to your dashboard. When you come in the day of the event, you're going to want to chat with the recruiters, and you've done your research and you've planned, and you'll come in and there'll be a chat now button on your dashboard, just like this, to the right of your event, and you're going to click on that, and then you'll see a list of all the companies that have chat rooms set up. Now, this is not an event day, so the times are not showing, no chat times for today. This is our sample, but your real event will have all of your chat times, and the status will let you know if there's a moderator online. So Christina, Hope Candidate, sorry, AKA Christina, is going to go ahead and enter this sample organization chat room. And I heard a little knock as she came into the chat room, and to show me that she just entered. And I'm gonna say hello to her as she comes in. Bob, I'm Bob, the recruiter, so I'm going to say hello to her. As she enters this chat room, let me explain a few of the things that you see when you enter the chat room. You're going to see on the left-hand side the organization representatives. And so there will be probably more than one. There could be up to 6 in your room. And they have the opportunity to change their chat display name. So Bob is the IT recruiter. And so instead of putting his name, Bob Smith, he put IT recruiter, so that I, as a candidate, would know, the candidate would know, wow, I'm a computer science major, I need to talk to Bob. and we recommend that the companies do that. Some other things that you see, so the candidates will be down below. Right now you see Hope's entire name. That's because she's the one showing her screen, but if there are other candidates down below her, you will only see the first name and the first initial of their last name, just for privacy purposes. You don't know who all the candidates are that are in the room with you. So that's really helpful. To navigate around this room a little bit, I want to show you some things in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, and that includes the chat icons. There's a list of chat icons up there that gives you just a way to navigate through the room a little bit so that you can have an idea of what the indicators are that show up to the left of people's names. For example, IT recruiter has a plus sign to the left of his name. And if we look on the chat icons, that means he's available for private chat. If he was in a private chat, he would have a little P next to his name. It's just above that. To the right of his name and Hope's name, because, well, you'll see his name, there's a drop-down arrow where it's a user menu, so you can see the options there for what Hope could do with this recruiter or the kinds of requests that she could make. So she could invite him to a private chat, or she could express interest and let him know that she was interested in the company. She can invite him to private chat, or he can invite her to private chat. So I'm going to invite her to private chat so that you see the little box that comes up. So I'm going to invite Hope to a private chat. And when I do that, she's going to see a little yellow box that comes up that says next to my name, the IT recruiter, saying, hey, you've been invited to a private chat. You know what, Hope, before we delve into all that, so don't accept that yet. I got ahead of myself a little bit because I got excited. I want to go back to explaining some of the other things in the upper right-hand corner before we move on to private chatting. So we talked about the chat icons up there in the right-hand corner, and then over to the right of that is like a little microphone, like a little speaker, and those are your sound settings, and you can read through these because you can decide how you want to operate, how you want to hear sounds when you're actually in the chat room, and you can just make personal options for that. Also, this main message window out here that you entered into, you saw when Hope typed a message. I mean, that is viewable by everyone that's in the chat room. So if there are 4 other recruiters here, and then there's a whole list of candidates, whatever I type to this main chat room is viewable by everybody. You know, that's really handy if maybe later in your event, you're getting to a company and there's been a lot of chatting going on in the main room ahead of time. You can scroll through what those questions and answers were, and that might help you kind of get up to speed on what's already been said before so that you don't ask the same question necessarily. The other thing too is if there's a number to the left of the recruiter's name or the organization representative's name, that means that you've missed that number of messages from him. So he's asked you for a private chat and he's typed a message to you, but you haven't entered into a private chat with him yet. So you can choose to do that. And we encourage you to just answer your messages promptly. All right, so Hope accepted the private chat. And now what happens is the screen splits in half and your private chat is in the bottom half of that screen. So after accepting that private chat, you see that new window open, and the private chats are just shown in between the light blue area, and they're only visible to that representatives that you're chatting with. Not the other reps cannot see what you're saying to that representative. You can, if you want to, over on the right-hand side, you have the opportunity to maximize your view if you really want to focus on this private chat and don't want to be looking at what's going on in the main room, then you can just be talking to this recruiter, or you could choose to minimize that and have the screen split in half again. or be in the main chat. Just wanted to show you how that works. Are there any questions about that? Okay, with that, then I, as the recruiter, I really like Hope because I've reviewed her resume and I think she's great. So I'm going to invite her to private chat with me. I mean, to do a video chat with me. And you see that a message comes up on her screen that says, will you allow CareerEco to use your microphone and your camera? So she has to agree to that and allow that. And when she does that, you'll see that my video shows up as well as hers. And this is only seen between the two of us. So this is a way to have a private interview with a recruiter. As a candidate, you want to come prepared to have a private interview. It's a great way to really move yourself along in the process. If they're interested in having a video chat with you, then they're probably pretty interested in you. And it's just like a one-on-one interview. So it's a really great way to do that. Okay, we can close those out, but I love the video capability that's available with CareerEco. Is there anything else you wanted to say about that, Hope? No?
No, that's
Or
all
Emma?
set. We just have to make sure that we end the private chat after it's done, that you click this end private video button right here.
Okay.
And then it'll end.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Okay. Emma, do we have any questions in the chat box for our meeting?
We don't currently,
Okay.
but well, we just actually got one for Gail. Thanks, Gail. Is video available in the main room?
Yeah, I was just about to talk about that. From the recruiter standpoint, there, can be up to 6 recruiters, and up to 3 of them can be video broadcasting at a time to the main room. So sometimes I've seen where the candidates are typing questions and maybe 1 or 2 recruiters might be broadcasting their video and answering those live for the students. And it's a really nice way to do that and kind of add a personal touch. So those recruiters can show their video in the main room. They can also just share their audio, or they may choose to share their screen if they've got a PowerPoint or something that they want to show you, maybe some kind of company overview or something about their position that they want to show you. So they might choose to do that. Another important thing, students, is that really the audio and video features do require you to log in on a desktop. So the platform is so robust, really your smartphone is not going to be adequate. You need to be on a desktop and then use Google Chrome or Firefox for your browser. And that's important so you don't have challenges on event day with trying to have a video chat if a recruiter happens to ask you for one. Of course, you have the opportunity to deny that and you can just remain chatting with them with text, but it certainly is a positive thing if you're prepared to do that. So that's kind of the end of what I have to review. If we don't have any other questions, ladies, do you have any other best practices or helpful tips that you'd like to share with the students online today?
I think you really covered all of it, Pamela. I thought it was very, very good and helpful to all students. So I don't know if Christina, you have anything in addition to add, but.
No, I think that was really great.
Okay. Great. Well, with that, we have recorded this and we will get that recording to Gail and Zach to get out to hopefully all the candidates that are registered. I hope this has just given you a visual into what it's going to be like on event day. And I really look forward to hearing about you all having a great event. Thanks so much. Have a good afternoon.